Welcome back to the Sisters Chat. We are so excited to be back on here for another awesome week. And it's so exciting to see you guys. I've been spending a lot of time with Ayla. We had a lot of quality time, but I haven't seen you. So, what's up, Hesha? I'm like, let's quickly ask Hesha how she's doing before her princess starts crying and she has to run away.
Yes, that's kind of like we're on a time limit, but it's fun. We're really glad to be here. I am good. Not much has been happening here. I'm just like grateful that all my two babies are feeling good. I feel like that's like the main thing. It's like kind of sick season over here. I don't know how it is. I know it's like crazy every time I hear from you guys in New York and you're like, it's 50 degrees, it's 30 degrees, and it's like 90 degrees here. But sick season is upon us, and like I feel like I have to just I'm like starting to get like in control of all my herbal like remedies. So that's kind of what I've been busy with this past week. Getting my sick cabinet ready.
When I moved to California, I was like, wow, there's no winter. That means kids are not getting sick. But I was completely wrong. Like it just, there was no winter, it just like was like six season all year.
Yeah, it's been fun. There's like some stuff that are coming out that I'm like, oh, I thought that went extinct, and apparently it's not, and it's back.
Hope you're stocked up on lavender and all your oils. That is the goal now, just keeping everyone alive, healthy, and well. Mimi, how are you?
Nothing happened since yesterday.
Mimi, there, come on. There's a lot of exciting things happening in Corpus Christi, Texas. Don't make it sound like it's not a super exciting spot on the map.
It's true. We had cold weather, so that is super exciting. We actually took the kids for a beautiful sunset and we saw the dolphins. We had a big kiddish this week, so that's always good energy for Shabbos. It's my birthday coming up, so we're going to have a fun women's event this Thursday making Dubai chocolates. So that's fun. I'm busy planning that. Which will segue into almost, a little bit of this week's topic.
Nini, you're a Scorpio?
I am.
You are a Scorpio. Okay, I love that.
I'm not so into the whatever they are
Horoscopes.
horoscopes, but I know usually Scorpios. We're gonna cut this, but
No, they're intense. Well, the reason we're going to actually cut you out is because you're not doing clay art or tambourines for your birthday. So that's why we're going to cut you out of the episode.
we are doing clay art. Well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, just not now. And the tambourines, you didn't let me because we're saving it for Cherna's bas mitzvah.
You have to. It's like the perfect thing to do at a bus mitzvah.
Literally waiting for 3 years to do it, but this summer, whatever after the summer, we'll be excited to do it.
Okay, and Manucha, catch us up on everything going on Crown Street.
So much has been happening. You missed a lot Shabbos Day when you were hosting people and didn't come to the family meal.
I am so sorry. I had plans that were planned before Friday morning. I usually am available, but I did plan and invite guests before then.
I cannot believe you missed the potluck.
I know.
Did you still make tuna fish and chickpeas? Potato salad. Did you still make potatoes? Did you still make your father potato salad?
Okay, do not turn me into a tuna fish girl. Yes, I make my father the best red potato salad every single week, and he waits for it, and it's really good.
Okay, as long as you did that, Mushki, then I think you're covered with potluck.
Okay. But Manuka, catch us in a little bit. What did I miss at the potluck this Shabbos?
So much gossip, so much happened. Really nothing. I think we're all just trying to guess if Heschel's gonna come in next week for the bar mitzvah or not. We did take a poll.
No, I'm literally so torn. It's so hard. Ugh, I told Ma if she took Millie to school every day, I'd come in now for at least 2 weeks. But apparently that's like not something she wants to do, which is bizarre. I have to figure out if I'm coming in next week, but I have a whole week.
Just leave Millie in LA.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah, Esty could watch her. Esty's not that
Listen,
busy.
I'm retired. I retired last week, so now I can watch her.
She got her moment of fame, peoples.
Okay, so for whoever was like, wait, is that like the Estee Mons that joined their podcast? Like the Estee Mons that planned the wedding of the century that just like popped on the sisters chat? Yes, you are seeing right. Our very special guest this week is Estee Manssouri, who we knew before she went world famous viral, broke the internet. She is our family friend from way back when. We grew up together and we were just so proud of you. Are you like, I can retire now? Like, what do you like? Do you go to a little nerdy bat mitzvah now? Like, how do you do that?
I'm sorry, nothing Esty does is a nerdy bat mitzvah, but sure.
No, I think it's just for me. It's just so funny because it's like I look at all these videos and I'm like, how the heck did I like? I can't even believe I did that. Don't worry, guys. Okay, I still can't even believe that I did that wedding. I'm still in shock as much as you guys are, so don't worry.
That's when we wanted to get you on the podcast. When like you're still in that like wait, like
I'm like, why are all these vendors tagging me? Like, what? What?
oh my gosh. Which part of it, when you look at, do you get like the most nachas from?
Well, I think for me, it's like I was holding my breath until they came down for the grand entrance. Because like then for me, like my work is done and I could like literally just start partying and have a good time. But up until then, it's like everything's so like systematic and logistic and like this needs to get done. And there's like it's just like a checklist of so many things that need to happen before that moment. And once that moment happened and like the curtain fell and they came down, I was like, oh, I could breathe now and dance and have a good time. But until then, I like just holding my breath because it was just like checklist after checklist after checklist, like even like getting 1,500 people into the chuppah room and then back, and everything is just so logistical. And then the yichud room, and then family photos, and like which is so stressful by firm weddings. Like I don't know why Rabbanim don't make a heter that like chassan and kala could just do their photos before, because that's like the most stressful part for me. I feel like that is like, and I feel bad because like chassan and kala are literally coming out of their yichud room, and you're just like photos, 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 and like family next, 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 and it's like this whole like rush, 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 rush. But it's like you just have to get through that, and like the second we got through that, and then first dance happened, and then I'm just like, now I can enjoy. Now I can breathe, and now I can enjoy.
I want to know whose idea was that grand entrance. Like,
Okay, so um, the father of the chassan, like literally, we planned the wedding together because he is so creative and so innovative and so much fun. It was his idea, and when he said it to me, I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Like I was getting so nervous and stressed because I'm like, "Who the heck am I going to find that's going to agree to even create something like that?" And he was just like, so I thought he was going to like brush it away because like okay, fine. He saw it and he thought it would be a cool idea. Cute, cute, cute. And then he kept on bringing it up and kept on bringing it up. And then it's like, okay, whoa, he was being serious. And now, good luck to me finding someone who's actually going to understand this concept and vision and make it come to life in like a normal way. So, yeah.
Is that something they do at concerts that we don't go to? Like, is that like a normal thing that happens that we just like, we were all like, what
So I
is
know
going on?
a lot of like major concerts, and like one of the teams that we were working with for like the rigging and the lighting and stuff, like literally Ashkacha Pratis does so many concerts. So this was something that they were able to like help us accommodate and help us like make happen. But yeah, it is very, very common in concerts in the non-Jewish world that the singers will either come in some sort of way, like make their grand
A
appearance
grand entrance.
through some sort of animation that's like using high ceilings and rigging and coming in that form. So they're used to that type of concept.
Wow. So for whoever's like, wait, what did I miss? Was there a huge wedding? Like, what's going on? So Estee Manssouri was the party planner behind. Are we allowed to say names, Estee?
Probably not.
You could just say check Yeshiva World News.
Check Yeshiva World News. And if you saw this huge wedding, like with purple, huge flowers and things hanging down, it was not AI.
I think I would say the opposite. If you haven't seen the wedding, then you need to come back into society.
By the way, seriously, low key, literally, Ayla, I agree with you on that one.
Like, I think it's a reverse check. Like, okay, now we need to figure out what was happening last week and why you were hibernating early.
Or you're really good, like for people who didn't see the wedding, like you're really good about being off social media, and kudos to you, honestly.
You could be giving classes.
Literally.
I'm being like present with your kids. But yes, this is Estee Manssouri who makes Pinterest look lame. This is what she does. She has an idea and so many themes, Estee. I think what's so special about your party is that you feel the theme all around. You come in and you create this like magical moment, even down to what you're wearing. Don't think I didn't notice how even what you wore at this wedding, like when Esty did an adorable birthday party, like my very first birthday, everything was berries and you wore a little like berry strawberry dress. You're so thought out. And I think when you think of party planners, there's so much like running hustle, but you somehow bring that calm to your clients and you make them feel
I said, Amen.
no, like I speak to them, they tell me whenever I see them, like, oh my gosh, Esty, like she saved the day. And I feel like no matter the budget of the wedding, you make each bride, each family feel like they are your number one and fully taken care of. I remember at 1 week you were doing this, like, was it this child's last wedding? And then I think you were doing
It was a sibling's wedding.
it was a siblings wedding a few years ago. I was hanging out with you and you did a siblings wedding and you did a chesed, like pro bono wedding. And somebody said she saw you at both weddings and you treated both brides the exact same. So that's really like who, yeah, I remember important stuff. So I think like so many people see you on Instagram and you share all your bougie tips, this and that. But like the real Essie that we know is like you have so much heart and so much care and we want everyone to get to see like both those parts of you. So when I asked an NGL question, anonymous question online, like what do people want to know about the wedding,
We're not
everyone's very
discussing how much the wedding costed.
all they
So we're
want, that's
not
all.
talking numbers because I signed an NDA and I am not breaking that. So
So do they have more kids that you can do the wedding for?
Or do they have any kids available? Those are the questions people want to know.
Yes, they're
there's
like
still two more. There's still two more.
girls
One
or boys,
just
it
went to
matters.
yeshiva. One just went to yeshiva. He's 17. 17 or he's 18. I think he's 17
Mm-hmm.
already. And
Mm-hmm.
a girl in high school. So it's going to be
Mm.
another little hot minute before we have another one of these weddings, or not,
Wow.
because I did hear that Lakewood is starting to kind of want to know who was the LA party planner. So it may be a
Are
little
you
fast.
relocating to the East Coast? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely not. New York party planners do not feel threatened. Okay, no, I really hate New York, and you guys know that. So I will stay in my little LA cocoon unless it's something that's like worthwhile to fly out for. But otherwise, I am not moving to New York.
So, being that everyone, we didn't realize our audience is so nosy. We thought they just like love us and they want to know, how was the simcha, how to make the simcha. Actually, no, they all, when it came to anonymous, they all want to know how much was the wedding, what was the budget. They didn't want to know if it was really a whole team or you were really the one behind it, Esty.
I
Okay,
actually had that question too, because for me, I'm like, I know you. You can set up a table, you can drape, you can do that, but it's like beams going up, and like Matt Dubb is flying in from Israel. Like, how did we get a hold of Ishai Rebo? Like, you can't just text him. Like,
Okay, so
and the amount of flowers, they're all real. So you need about 1 million people taking care of it the night before. Like, I had so many questions just about the
Right.
method.
So we're going to ask you, because everyone wants to know numbers, we're going to ask you all the other questions. Is that okay, Estee, if we bombard you with like a few? We're going to ask you questions about the wedding. Then we're going to ask you questions about like how we ourselves can become our own like mini party planners.
Okay, love that. Go for
Because
it.
even though as Farshid, my uncle says that like Estee gets all our ideas from Mushki.
I wonder if he's still saying that, but it's okay if he does.
Mishki, you thought of that Lebanese wedding and the floating chandeliers.
I
It's
always had a thing for Lebanese, like Persian Lebanese. It's, a little similar.
Can I just say, Esty, my issue is that I love the beach party Tayameha before
Uh-huh.
and the Shabbos that I didn't know actually if the wedding was still my favorite. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Well,
each
And she
one
did a
was,
bas mitzvah. That
I
much.
can't deal with the Bas Mitzvah, but the Shabbos before was just also breathtaking.
so honestly, the Shabbos before was actually like for me, it was so nice because like I can't be on my phone. I just had to be present, literally just be present, and like that's it. Whatever's happening is happening. And because I'm like close with the family, like I really did get to enjoy, like like be a part of the meals and different things like that. So that was really really nice. Shabbos was so beautiful and it was more intimate. Like the wedding was like so many people, but at least like on Shabbos, like you really get a chance to like talk to people and like just to be present. So that was like really special and really beautiful. And it was like by the beach. I don't know. There's something about the beach and like the water that's just like a vibe. So that was like Shabbos. It was actually in a way so nice to like have that. I also feel like it was a build up, especially for the guests that were there. Like it was like a build up to the wedding. Plus, guys, this Yankalu guy is like literally my new favorite entertainer. He's hilarious and so much fun and such a vibe. So I think it started to create like a certain like ambiance for the wedding, and then like it was like leading up to it, like Indian people, like they party for like 7 days before or whatever. So it felt like a mini Indian celebration.
Wow. Wow. Do you feel like at the wedding itself, people were able to enjoy and be present, or they're more like with their phones, like, oh my gosh, like I got, because every corner was something cool. There was the chandeliers, the bar, all these little features you had.
So I think like definitely like the goal for the wedding was to give people like a really cool experience and not just like another wedding. Like you're sitting down, eating your chicken, like, then you're going for first night. Like it was like, how could we create like and give people an experience? And like just from hearing like feedback, like everybody that was there felt so like cool and special to be at that wedding, which is like literally like what we wanted the guests to feel. And I'm so happy that like they were able to like feel that and
In the
experience
moment, Esty, could you tell that viral moment was happening that everyone could tell they were at the wedding of the year?
I think like once I had like gotten dressed and I was like walking to, so I mean we'll discuss a little bit like where the wedding was and things like that, but like there was like a little bit of like walking like through different, it was basically at soundstage, it was at a venue where they film like either music videos or movies. It's like a soundstage. So we ended up taking three of them and they were like 14,000 square feet each, and each of them had to be transformed. And when Ishai Rebo like came and he was like, "Hey, where am I going?" So I was like kind of like walking with him, like, "Hey, this is where this is going to be." And then he was just like, "What the heck is going?" Like once I think his reaction and like me watching his reaction, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is going to be something so cool for everybody to
It
experience."
matched what you were expecting.
Yeah, because it was like I was just like in the moment, like I was there for a week already setting up, so it was just kind of like I didn't get to see it from like 0 to 100. I was like there throughout the whole entire process. But then, like, just seeing somebody going from 0 to 100 and experiencing for the first time and like taking it all in, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we were really able to do that. And that is so cool.
Manucha, seeing the wedding, knowing Estee, what question do you have for her?
I was like, who picked the purple? That's my question.
So low key, we were first like all the girls' dresses were blue, and it was really supposed to be blue. Um, and I started to like panic like a couple of weeks before that it was gonna look like a baby shower a little bit. So I'm like, oh my God. I call the florist and I'm like, we need to incorporate like a little bit of like purple because I think like the blues with the purple will kind of like mellow down just the light blue, which I was scared was going to give like baby shower vibes.
Like
So
it's a baby boy.
literally on steroids. But so that's how kind of like the purple kind of came into picture. And if you look at a lot of like the Lebanese Dubai style weddings, they do have like a lot of rich color. So we definitely knew we wanted to bring in color, and like the purple and the blue family kind of like were such a beautiful blend that ended up working out together.
Wow.
And also, I kind of did want to feed off the fact that like the L'chaim for them was yellow, and like everybody was like, "Oh my God, the yellow party, the yellow party." So I'm like, it would actually be so cool to feed off that and then create another color party, which will kind of like also
Like
encompass the
you
whole.
own this color now. Like you
Exactly.
owned yellow.
Yeah. So I thought that that would be like a fun idea. And that was really what I feel like what was going to make it look different because at the end of the day, like white, gold, light pink, white, gold, light pink, it's like, okay, next, okay, next. And
It's
it's not always like
risky though.
it is, but you don't also always find clients that are willing to try something different or want something that's going to really be different. So I feel like when you do, you need to like jump on and go with it.
Wow.
Kind of spoiled you forever.
They spoiled me forever.
Now she's just gonna want to do whatever she wants.
Literally. God bless.
Nini, what question do you have for Party Planner Deluxe Esty?
Well, I have two questions, but we'll start one just more with this wedding, and then we could get more into like personal ones. How do we get some awesome tips from you for make believe party planners? But with this, you said, the father is really creative. So for you as a party planner, what's it easier? Like working with someone who has their vision and you kind of have to work around their vision, or someone that gives you free range, kind of says, this is what I would want, and lets you take your creativity to like the next level?
Very good question. I think it really depends on the personality of the person. Like, I had a client last month who was like this big doctor, and she's like, I know you're going to do great. You did my other daughter's bat mitzvah. Just, I'm too busy to like even like think of anything, logos, colors, ideas. Like, go, of course, like we met and we spoke about like different things that were important to her to have at the party. But like, she didn't bother me with anything. Like, she didn't need to see samples of anything. She didn't need to bother me with anything. So, in that sense, it was nice to have like a certain free range to just go with whatever I thought would be like fitting. Um, but
And
in
she was
this
happy in
case,
the end. Some
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people say they're happy with anything, and then after they're like, "Oh, but really, like."
No, no, no. She was like so grateful, and she was like literally one of the best. Like, she would call me, like she's the big doctor, and she would call me and be like, "Estee, I know you're so busy. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to ask you about something." I'm like,
Adla, you would be a client like that.
and then you have other clients who are on the phone with you for 45 minutes, and you're like, "Oh my God, we literally didn't speak about anything," and you just have to be cute and sweet and friendly, and you're just like inside, like, but um like I'm like, wow, so like the doctor clients I love those are like literally my favorite. But this client, I think all the parties that I've done for them have like always been my best work because they like push me to my limit in the best way possible. And I feel like not every client does that, or like some of them like just like, yeah, it's very I don't have that all the time, that it's like a client who's like literally like, come
Really
on,
just go.
like just go and more and then you're like, I hope I'm gonna make it alive to this party. But then it's like then it always ends up being like my best work is like when I have that like motivation put when I feel like I'm like, okay, fine, I what am I gonna do, and then like my creativity like can just go and go and go. is like, I feel like, okay, that's like really when I get my best work.
Hesha, you knowing Esty and seeing this party, like what question do you have for Esty?
It's my question for Esty is that I have so much faith in Esty because I know that Esty's so capable. I know, like, I see all your work, and like, I'm not surprised that you executed this beautiful wedding because I'm like, you're Esty. You could do anything. You're phenomenal. But you, as the party planner, like, were you nervous? Were you like having anxiety before that you're gonna execute it perfectly?
100% I had anxiety. And plus, it didn't help. I love you, Hashem, but like that he gave us a beautiful month of Tishrei with the worst freaking blackout dates the month before the wedding. And all the vendors thought that I was lost my brain cells because I would speak to them on Monday and be like, okay, well, we'll connect again on Thursday. And they're like, okay. And then the next week I had the same narrative. Yeah, hi, Monday we'll meet and whatever, and we'll connect again on Thursday. And they're like, Esty, Thursday is production day because in the non-Jewish world, all the weddings and events that happen really happen on Friday and on Saturday and on Shabbos, because this way they can go to the late hours and Monday's already a back to work day. So they really try to avoid Sunday events as much as possible. And then you have me who's like literally coming to them like pre-production day with like all these changes and all these additions. And they're like, you have lost your mind, girl. So I think for me, that was a lot of anxiety. Like literally, like you have Yom Kippur, and then you're like, ah, then you could breathe, and then it's like Sukkot, and then you have Shmini Atzeres, and you have Simchas Torah, and it's like literally the wedding was like 10 days after, and it's like, how is all of this going to come together? And I was so nervous, and like the whole time I was trying to find like another planner to like work with or team up with, and I would like interview all these people, and people recommended this person, and like it wasn't working out with anyone. And I do want to give like a really big shout out to like the florist and to the my logistics guy and AV guy like Yoav, because they were like, Esty, you can do this and you're gonna do it, and we're gonna be here to help you and support you. But you got this. Like, don't bring in another planner, because then like you're gonna have to like, then it could get messy, because like with with crediting and with this and who's taking responsibility for certain things, and things can like fall in the cracks, especially if you haven't worked together before. And they're just like, you just do it. We're gonna be there to help you. So I think one of the smartest things that I was able to do was surround myself with a really, really strong and amazing team who gave me the confidence I needed when I was lacking it, and who were able to like pick me up and guide me with certain things, and really like carried me through with them together with the process, because we all wanted it to be a success. And it was like a really great teamwork of everybody putting in their A game, and like really trying to put down their ego, and like, let's all help where we can, because we want this and need this to be a success, and it will be a success, but everybody is going to work together. And I just like really like, I was like just constantly like, especially with the AV and the logistics, which I hate, but was a huge aspect. Like even the caterers, like, Esty, you're not doing a wedding, you're doing a production. I'm like, don't tell me that, because then I'm not going to want to do it. I'm like, in my head, I'm just like thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm just doing a wedding. I'm just doing a wedding. Like the second I'm going to hear the word production, I'm like literally going to run the other way. And a few times, like to be honest, um, I'm not ashamed to say that I go to therapy. And I was speaking to my therapist, and I was telling him, like, I don't think I could do it. I think I'm just going to write a letter, like a resignation letter, like, thanks so much for thinking of me and blah, 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 blah. And it's just too much for me, and I can't have the mic. So I'm like, should I do it like over text or email or call? And he's like, Esty, you need to address these fears and you're going to be okay. And like, he kind of like broke down like the process with me. Like, let's just talk statistics, right? When was the last time you had an event that failed? When was the last time you had an event that completely failed? Okay, great. So like we didn't have that, right? So we can kind of like bet against the odds that that's not going to happen again. And then I'm like, okay, but what if it's an epic fail, and what if this? And he's like, one thing that he said to me that really helped me a lot was, and he's like, and Esty, and even if it does, you still have your family the next day. You still have your friends the next day. You still have your life. This isn't your whole entire life. And your life is not going to be over if this event isn't going to be the way you expected it to be or the way you wanted it to be. And I feel like once I had that reassurance, then I was like able to like breathe and like get through the process and like start doing it. But it was so scary for me that like even my client who can hire anybody in the world chose to like have me do it and like believed in me so much, and
Wow.
that was like I think so much pressure.
So my question for you is one, like, are you ready for like bring on, I don't know, the Kinnas or bring on a Trump wedding? Like, are you looking for another big event, or are you just like, okay, I'm ready to go back to my small 700 person like safe space? Like, how are you feeling right now? And
So
then like logistically, I'm just fascinated because my daughter, you made me feel like cool in her eyes. She's like, I like the way your friend Estee like takes really, beaten places and turns it around in 72 hours. So she's in on that. And I'm just trying to imagine like how many people are you managing, because flowers and food do not have months of shelf life. Like, and besides the fact that it was 10 days after Yom Tov. So everything is being done in what, 48 hours. So just like, I'm so curious to walk me through those last 2 days of how does it all happen?
all right, so a big part, and like it was like such a bracha that we were able to have this venue. We were able to do like a 1 week rental. It was a 1 week setup, so that we were really able to start setting up the week before. But like it's so complicated because in certain areas we were able to get the draping and the carpeting done ASAP, but in the main ballroom we had to wait till the last minute for that because of all the hanging structures that were happening and all the scissor lifts that were coming in. We couldn't put the carpet till all the structures were done. So we actually had to build from the top to the bottom, whereas in the other venues we were able to like kind of build from the bottom up. So in that room, like it was like its own ball game. And I really tried so hard to like rip every single piece apart and give it to a vendor so like I could have the most flexibility. Like I had one person only for draping, one person only for carpet,
So you
one person.
delegated.
Yeah, even though normally like certain rental companies will want the job and want to do all three, I knew because of the complications of this space and the specifications that I couldn't give too much to anybody. So that was like a big help in like the
It was like
process.
master your piece and that's it.
And don't talk to me about anything else, okay? Like no. So for like certain vendors, like I'm like, do you guys not have friends? Because like I don't have time to talk to you about your outside life right now because like my brain is like going like, and you're telling me like I'm like it's just not, yeah. But like then you need to be nice because you need them to show up the next day. So it's like finding that balance. Um
It wasn't a week for making friends within work.
Literally.
No mixing business and pleasure.
No, but Hashem was just like literally so good. And I feel like really like the whole Yom Tif, I think it was like the first night of Sukkot. Like I love to sleep and I sleep really well. I woke up like at 2 o'clock in the morning and I started tossing and turning and I'm like, oh no, the anxiety is piling up and like this is not good. And I actually had another client's wedding like last year, February, and they gave out like in the welcome bags, like this book called In Good Hands. It was like a book about like bitachon and trust in Hashem and everything like that. And like, I'm like, I pulled it up and I just started to read like all these like letters about bitachon and trusting in Hashem. And I'm like, this is the only way I'm going to get through this wedding is like, I know I'm doing the best that I could do. And Hashem is like literally gonna do his part because it's the only way that it could work. Like it's literally the only way. So as soon as like I was able to like start to shift my mind in that direction, then I'm like, okay, I could handle this and I can do this and I'm gonna be okay. But until then, yeah, the anxiety was till
Can I
here.
tell you my favorite part was that I was watching the first few clips of the wedding and I spotted someone in pink and I'm like, that's such Shoshana vibes, but like, is she at the wedding? And then like, of course your
Of
family's at
course.
the wedding.
You
And
think
then
my
she turned around,
parents?
I'm like, oh, of course she is. Like, I was just like that. Everyone in California has the same energy.
My parents especially because like I live at home now, they would see me up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and like on the phone with vendors and this and that. And my mother's like, there is no way I'm not coming to this wedding. I need to see every week. I'm like, Mom, you are coming. I am putting you on the guest list. Don't worry. So they were there, and I think
She
like
didn't even have to like break in or try to
no,
like,
and I was not
get past
even.
security.
I was not even. Like they say, like choose your battles. I was not even going to start with, I'm like, Mom, yes, you are coming. You are a freaking VIP at this wedding. That's how much you're coming. And then finally that calmed the waters in the house and I was able to get through finishing my work. But it was
Once
just like,
that big trauma was taken care of, big checklist.
no, so yeah. Yeah, whoa, God bless. Literally, God bless.
So I'm with Adla though. How many people are working the day of the wedding to get that wedding going?
Over 100 people. I
Wow.
just had for the day of a team of 10. I literally flew out my sister Chaya. Major shout out to Chaya, who is like so good with like logistics. She also like knows me, so like I could snap at her because I can't snap at anybody else.
And she
And
could translate that into nicer words for the next person after you.
exactly. Or, like, and it's
That's
so
what we
important
asked
actually to
you.
have somebody like that. So like yeah, Chaya literally was like such a huge help. It would so on with like everybody else on the day of the team, but like even like hearing and then they like even like from the like from the family like Essie like chuppah ran on time with 1,500 people like that was freaking amazing. And I was like, oh my God, you know what? I'm going to be so proud of that because, like, those are things that, like, were so nerve wracking to me. And even, like, the family, like, knows that I'm so good. Like, they love my design and, like, they trust me with design and stuff. But, like, logistically, they're like, Esty, this is going to be like a big wedding. Like, we want to make sure that you have the team and the capabilities to, like, make sure the logistics are going to flow because I also have a big mouth and I keep on saying, I hate logistics. And imagine somebody who's having a party with 1,500 people. Like, I don't think he wants his party planner walking around town saying, I suck at logistics. I hate logistics. And like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
that's
hired the party planner who hates logistics.
right. Literally. Like, and that's all she's saying on internet and everywhere she goes, telling everybody she hates logistics. Like, shut your mouth, girl, and figure it out. But like, that's all I was like running around town. Like, I hate logistics. I don't want to hear the L word. I don't want to hear about the L word. And so to have that covered and for it to be like flawless, like, I'm really proud of my team for that. So thank you, Hashem.
Do you feel like in the future you would like give over logistics to someone else? Like I do that with a partner. I just like gave up on myself with in terms of that, you know?
So there's certain things that like I learned so much from this. And one thing that was really nice is that the vendors have like the guy who did the carpeting, right? He's like been doing the Oscars and the Grammys for like 30 years. He does like Hulu, Netflix, like
Wow.
all these huge, huge events.
Oh my
And
gosh,
he's like,
Esty,
Esty, I want to.
imagine you'll do the Oscars. Can I come? Me and your mom?
Could you host? Now Mushki's going to want to host. Never mind your mother getting in.
So
I can't, Ava.
no,
Forget about whoever I'm hosting this Wednesday. I'm hosting the Oscars. I can't. Oh my gosh. Okay.
as if that's happening. But I'm just saying, he was just so nice because he's like, no, Essie, this is an amazing production. But he's like, I want to go out to coffee with you like next week and after. And I want to like, he's like, I know so much about this business and I can teach you so much. And I feel like so many of the
Wonderful.
vendors, they were so kind like that, like they saw that it was my first time putting on a production like this. And they were like, hey, we're here to help. We're going to help support, but we also have so much to teach you. And I feel like I was also so open to receiving and to being receptive about it because I'm like, this is not a time for like an ego, like, oh, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. And any help and any support that I could get, I'll take. But they were also like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like for a first time like production manager, like you did amazing, but there's so much that you can learn to make it easier on you for like the next. Like I didn't know that there's a guy in LA who like just takes care of permits. And in order for us to do an event like that, you don't understand how many permits we had to get from the fire marshal, from all the different departments, from the noise ordinance. Like I had my
This
assistant
is
like
not like the fun, pretty stuff that you get to share, right? This is like the behind the scenes.
literally, but it was like so much figuring out on my own from like doing things like this that like I feel like I've gained so much like knowledge and experience, even though it's like just from this one event. So I don't know, Mishki, like I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like sometimes I'm like, no, I just want to do my little party, bus mitzvahs. And then sometimes I'm like, bring on another big event. Like, ooh, people in Lakewood want to like talk to me. Like, ooh. And then like, I don't know. So it's like, it
Then you
is
just
like
want to
a
like
whole
have
like,
brunch with friends. Like it's
I just want a spa day. I don't know. So I'm like still figuring that part out.
So do you
wow.
have Isha Yuribo's cell phone number or not?
So firstly, it's Ishai's agent. And yes, I have him on speed dial. He's a funny guy. And then with the other singers,
Could he come when Mushki hosts the Oscars? Could we get him to start off?
yeah, but then you just become like friends with everybody. Like Ishai's agent, like son got married like in middle, like right, was it right before Sukkot? Right after Sukkot? Like he's sending me photos of his son's wedding, and he's like,
But
look,
Esty, that's just you. Everyone, becomes your best friend.
and I'm like,
Um,
God bless.
I was almost more excited about Matt Dubb. Hasha, we had a very strong, long Matt Dubb era. I thought it was very cool that he was DJing.
So
I actually
okay,
got
Matt,
excited.
we brought Matt for the engagement. And then the dad and him like hit it off. And he's like, "We're bringing Matt back for the wedding." Matt is funny. Like I have Matt's cell. I could text Matt, but Matt is just like a vibe on his own, and he's a funny guy.
So you're not like, are you shocked about all the viral content, or like you knew it was happening and you were like getting your Insta face ready? Like, Esty, you know me, I'm a numbers gal. I followed your numbers. You got like 8,000 more followers in a weekend, and just, almost a million shares and views on some of those videos, on some of the transformation videos. So like, were we ready for this?
There was just an energy at the wedding that was amazing because it's like we didn't have a 40-piece band. We didn't have like certain things that like that like people will like I think it was like the flow of the evening, the choice of singers, and just like I'm an energy person, so it's like the vibe and the energy like once that was like just flowing, I feel like everybody like felt that and it was so tangible. And I think that's what made it such a special wedding. Like the energy there was like nobody wanted to leave. Like every other wedding, as soon as people like they do the first dance, they cut into their their stuffed chicken capon with mushroom sauce. And then they're like, if you're not close, like they're bouncing or they're coming just for simcha sauce and makala. Like people did not leave. Like valet, like originally, because the wedding started at 5. We're like, okay, valet will be like, till like 11. And I told him like, just leave me a few guys till midnight. Like we had to extend everybody till 1:30 a.m. Like all the bartenders, everything like, I didn't budget for this, but whatever, heck with that. But it was like so crazy that I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are staying at this wedding for 8 hours. Like, but people just didn't want to leave.
So maybe, Nini, the most important part of any event is really the energy, right? The
I,
positive vibes.
yeah, I really believe that because you can buy the prettiest flower, you can buy everything but energy. You can't buy energy.
Well, that's for sure. You need good energy, good vibes. But as a party planner, for people who can't make the wedding of a century, but they want to upscale their party, like where would you tell them to like invest? Like the few things that would really up their party without like going out of proportion.
So definitely,
I know this answer. I'm just going to say cheers as many times as I have to, but Esty, give the real answer.
okay, chairs is for aesthetics, but ambiance wise, it's lighting and music, lighting and sound. I feel like everybody, if you're a shlucha, if you're doing house party, you need to invest in a sound system with a separate phone or iPad that is not your cell phone because you are going to be busy during your event and you're going to get ding, 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 dings, and it just ruins the flow. And everybody thinks that they'll just be fine without it. No, you need to invest in a separate MP3, iPhone, whatever player, as well as an audio system and having some lighting. I feel like when people enter a room and there's like a dim light or there's a light effect and then there's music, it breaks a certain tension. Then
Just
people
set
just like,
the tone.
they what?
It said it just sets the tone.
It sets a tone and it's just like you feel like you're already entering into like an experience, into an event. I feel like when you walk in the room and like, especially like you have those like creepy crawler Americans who show up at 5:54 when the event's called for 6, and you're like, get out, and you could come back in like 6 minutes, okay? But I feel like once there's music, there's just I don't know, everything kind of just melts in the background a little bit, you know?
It almost like the whole social anxiety tension goes down because you can't feel it, you know? And
Exactly. And like you also don't have to make small talk. Like, I mean, Mushki, that's not an issue for you.
Mushki lowers the music so she can talk more.
Exactly.
Me and Ayla will be at an event and we'll be like, where's the music? Like when there's no music, you actually feel like the room feels empty, even when
You
there's a
feel
ton
the
of
void.
people.
Exactly. You feel
Yeah.
like this void. Like
So
some
in this phase, there was a lot of different musical parts. Was that like the first thing we did was like who is coming to do the music? Was that like the first, like what was the like this is what we're for sure doing and everything else?
So Ishai was the first thing that we booked, and like okay, like the dad of the party is like this is where his brilliance is, because he's like he is a fun experience. Like he wants to have a fun time at a wedding. He wants to have an experience. He's like the hardest time for all the guests at a firm wedding is after chuppah when
Pictures.
exactly. And he's like, I'm not doing that to my guest. I am not having them just sit down in a room waiting for an hour and a half or for 2 hours till Hassan and Kala. Like, I'm not doing that. He's like, I hate it. And I will be the biggest hypocrite if I do that. So literally what we did is we literally brought in Ishay Ribo to sing 2 songs at Chuppah and basically create like a whole concert experience for the guest
Oh, I love
till
that.
first dance happened. So that was like, it was such a good flow. We had like the guests come back from chuppah. Then we actually had Zusha perform. So Zusha did like a 30 minutes performance because I really wanted to get Hassan and Kala from the Yichud room into the main ballroom for photos. And thank you, Hashem, I was able to get that. And then once I had Hassan and Kala outside of the ballroom for photos, we brought Ishai on stage and then we opened up the ballroom. And then that was our wiggle room to have like 45 minutes to get all the family photos done while Ishai was entertaining the guest. So it
Okay, so
actually ended
I
up,
like that SD because I was afraid that instead of dancing, everyone's looking at
yeah,
the singers, but this was
honey, we thought of it all. Don't worry.
I,
Wow.
Also, Ishai is great, but between me and you, and like he's more of a concert type of person
right.
than like Ketzad Mirakdim, which I learned is not Ketzad Miraglim, which I thought was Ketzad Miraglim, because I'm like, oh, that's cute, like you move with your feet. No, it's Ketzad Mirakdim. Okay, I've learned my snaggy vocab has gone up this wedding, but it was
I
just
really feel that move to Lakewood is much closer than Crown Heights. That's what we have going on here.
literally, now
Totally.
that I know the word Tayameha, now that I know the word Tayameha and Ketzad Merakdim, I can move to Lakewood,
And
right?
there was a Daf Yomi share. You threw in a
And there
Daf
was,
Yomi share and you
and
were
there was
done.
the DOF, like now I'm getting the hang of it.
But
But
I think that's what I loved about this wedding is that everybody is like jumping in this gorgeous scene that looks like it's an Oscars after party, but with white shirts and their yarmulkes. So it actually like had this fabulous like juxtaposition of like, wait, it's an actual from insane party, like it was with like a serious mechitza, like it was.
yes, I think it was, in a way, it was like what was beautiful is it was a really big Kiddush Hashem for like a lot of guests at the wedding who are like are doing business with the family or not, maybe not so from, like for them to come to a Jewish wedding that was so fun and so beautiful, and at the same time like so tznius and Jewish, was such a cool experience for them.
I liked watching that.
It really was such a big Kiddush Hashem. Like it really was, in that sense. But
Okay,
that's
but
it was that was the flow was just so good. So Ishai really was there to entertain and make a beautiful experience and make like this like up close concert for the guests while we were taking photos. And then that was like the flow. So as Ishai went off stage, that's when I had Hassan and Kala come in behind the black curtain to be lifted, and the intro started for them to do the thing. So there was like a really good flow, which was like so, 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 so important to the client, that the guests just kind of feel like, okay, like we can't wait for what's next. We can't wait for what's next. Instead of like, how long more do we have to be here?
So it's almost like it's a storytelling. Like what you're saying, the experience is more like when you're a party planner, it's not just what's on the table, what's the food, it's what's happening minute to minute. What are people anticipating?
Like
Like what's around the
entertainment.
corner? Yeah.
So I think, yeah, 100%, especially for clients that are vibes. Certain clients that are very like yeke, I also learned that word. They don't care. You come in, you have your bread and butter on the table, you have your first course with your beets and your orange and your pesto sauce, whatever. They're not looking to change the scene. And it's like, you're going to have to wait however long it's going to take for also now the college have to do hair changes and bustle their gowns besides the yichud room, besides the family photos, besides, and it's like you're literally just sitting there like waiting and you're like, how long could I look at this beet salad for? And it's like, come on. So I think it was like that was really cool to give the guests that like anticipation and not feel that.
Estee, when I'm going to a wedding and I know that, let's say Mishkira she'll be there, I'll be like, don't speak to me for 3 days. So we have that 2 hour first course. We have something to talk about. So like this
Literally.
is definitely talking to me.
I have a question, Esty. When something goes wrong when you're at these weddings, how do you deal with like solving it? Like there has to be something going wrong. Like even when things go
100%.
so smooth, something must go wrong. How do you deal with that like crisis?
Okay, well, firstly, I think having, and I learned this also, especially when it's a big production like that, you just need to have people on call to just be there. Like you hope you don't use them, but if you need them, they're just there and they need to go do stuff because things are going to happen. Like for example, as we were setting up chuppah, we realized that I don't know who it was or what happened, but they were supposed to bring two sets of stairs because the grandparents were walking down the aisle and then they each needed to go down and sit in the front row. But there were only one set of stairs on the side of the men's side, and there wasn't a set of stairs on the side of the woman. And the chuppah was going to be like too high to like get down. So I was like, oh my God, okay, crisis control. So did you see our cute little like musician actors, the white ones? So they were on all these pedestals. So I literally like kicked one off his pedestal. I'm like, Poppy, you're going home a little early. I need your step.
You flicked him off.
And then I'm like, go be with your friend. Like, go find, go find something to do. And I had like two guys like take his step and like bring it like around the room, like to the side of the chuppah, so like the women like have like walk down too. And also another thing is because Baruch Hashem, this wedding had like quite amount of crashers. We ran out of water before we ran out of booze. So we had to like send someone literally like just like go buy more water, go buy more water. Just like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of water bottles and just tons of water so we wouldn't like run out. But like, yeah, things are going to happen. Like, thank God we had those people on call that were available to just go and do that and to send somebody. Um, so yeah, things are going to happen. I also like tried in advance. And we had like two Hatsala members at the event because like when you're having that many people, like things
That's
happen and you just want to try and think of as many situations that could be
Scenarios.
solved wedding, then think, on the day of. So that was helpful also to just like know that we have Hatzala on call. I had their numbers, I had their contacts in case they Chas V'Shalom needed to be reached, like that they were already there. And then in terms of like sound and AV, like there was just tons, the engineering teams and the logistics teams. Like I'm like, just bring whatever because I can't deal with that word, okay, no matter what. And I don't want to hear about any logistics issues because I can't solve them for you. So bring people who could solve those issues for you. I can pay for them, but I can't solve anything. So just bring them and have them on site and do their thing. So um in terms of
SD.
yeah.
So we're showing the world now. Everyone saw that, you're a superstar and you're massive party planner here with, world's the limit and you really created that gala production. But for those who don't really know you the way we know you way back and they want to kind of get the backstory, how did you first get even into this party planning? Just to give people just a little bit, even though we're already an hour into chatting, but was it a hobby of yours always? Did you always like help people with parties or different things? Like, just give us a little bit of how it started till obviously now you're a superstar. How did this begin? This profession of yours?
So it actually
And just by
started.
the way, I babysat you when you were a baby. I'm just putting it out there.
I think I mean, firstly, we, I think like growing up, being the oldest like girl in like a big family, hosting Yom Tiv, hosting Shabbos, like on larger scales growing up, there's just certain things that like, you pick up, like you're okay, then it comes to a point where you're doing paper goods and napkins and different things like that. You're bringing in color like here and there. But the first time that I ever did something, it was Mayor's bar mitzvah. We were going to Israel, and because we were doing like an Israel trip, we were going to make a really small party here for his class. But I still wanted it to be like fun and cute. So I'm like, oh. Then I started to go like on Pinterest and like maybe I'll make a little dessert table, and then like little like name the little ice creams, and like I wrapped like little chocolate bars. So like I was like the first time I was like, oh my god, like doing like little stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is actually cute and fun. And then after that, it was like about like 9 years ago, a lot of my friends started getting engaged, and I wanted to throw them like a bridal shower. I'm like, oh my God, it'd be so fun. So I threw one friend a bridal shower, and then another friend's like, oh my God, let's throw another one for another friend. And I'm like, okay, but we can't make it the same because we're the same group of friends. So like I remember like I went to Ross, I went to Goodwill, and I started to like look for like little things that they have, like themes that weren't too expensive, that could like give a different vibe. And then one of my friends that we did the bridal shower for, her sister-in-law called me and she's like, hi, Estee, I had a baby. I'm like, so random. Like, why are you calling me? And she's like, I wanted you to do the bris. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't do that. Like, this is just for friends. This is for fun. But like, thank you, whatever. But I ended up doing her son's upsurnish like 3 years later. But that's kind of like really like what ended up happening. I just like started to like have a little collection. And I remember I used to charge like $200, and I thought like I was the coolest chick in town. And then I charged $500, and I was like, okay, guys, like nobody talked to me.
I remember you charging $900 for a bar mitzvah somewhere.
Uh,
Okay, then I started to go to 900. These are the only numbers we could talk about. Okay,
I
Well,
remember
Would
things
you
you
are
say
called.
the
funny
wedding was a
also.
little more than the 900?
guys.
So 9 years ago, you were saying you had to like go to the store to actually find the different things you wanted to use for a party. It's like now with Amazon and Etsy and all these different vendors, it's like a different ball game out there.
Totally. Party City, Baruch Dynasty MS. But like I'm saying,
Olive Shalom.
all of us shalom. But it was 99 cents, Dollar Tree. Like a lot of my parties were really curated from all of that. Oriental Trading. Do you remember those magazines that used to come from Oriental Trading? But yeah, it wasn't a lot. Yeah. Now like everything is just like being shipped to the house. And it's like.
So
But
where was all like? I mean, this stuff is not coming. This is coming in trucks. I mean, like do you find that you're buried in supplies sometimes?
so the only thing that's annoying that like needs to ship to you or to your house is like anything like custom menus, custom napkins, custom benchers, things like that like need to be brought, but like everything else is just going straight to the menu. So
Right,
it's
because
like
they're
I don't need a
rentals.
yeah.
I feel
Esty
like I
also.
remember a time where you had a truck, like a truckload, like a full of stuff, and a garage full of stuff, and no.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And then I had a storage unit, and I would like that's the part I dreaded the most. And I was like, oh my God, like things needed I couldn't handle the schlepping.
So
Couldn't handle
when
it.
did you make that big move from realizing like, okay, like I'm pretty good at this and I'm also going to do this full time? Because I remember that $500 phone call. You called me. Oh my gosh, can I charge 500? I'm going to put it on a Canva. I'm just going to send it to people. Will be a dessert table. When were you like, okay, I've got this, and like I'm not doing my Hebrew school jobs, I'm not doing my bat mitzvah tutoring. You had all these like safety buffers on the side. When were you like, which party, at what moment were you like, okay, I'm doing this full time?
So actually, I'll give a shout out to her. But my friend Nechama, who has literally become one of my closest friends, but who started out as a
He
client.
messaged us today saying, Estee's the best. You're so lucky you're having her on.
So she was like the first client that I had that like allowed me to like spend $7 on a chair and get a ghost chair. I thought I was like the coolest party planner in town because up until then, like we would rent, like we were using shul chairs. And then after shul chairs, I was able to use white folding chairs that were like $2 each. And then I was able to like have certain clients who would even let me rent Chivari chairs, which were, like $4.50, $5. But then I really always wanted to rent ghost chairs, and then Nechama like let me, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm starting to become a real party planner, and that's for me like where like the shift happened, and was able to work with like a bigger rental company. But I think people just you need to like allow it to have time, and you'll get there. But it didn't happen overnight. It happened like 4 or 5 years into party planning that like I started to be able to like climb that ladder. But that for me, I always remember like when I was able to like rent those clear chairs, I was like, I made
And
it
for
in life.
whoever doesn't know, Esty has a thing for chairs. She said, I will help you with promise you will rent chairs. And Ayla did not rent chairs, by the way.
No, until today, I can't understand these party planners, experienced, amazing party planners who will have their clients spend 15 to 25 to $30,000 on a chuppah and use white folding chairs. Like, I don't understand how they don't see that as an issue, and I just can't get over it. It's like spend $3,000 less on your chuppah and have nicer chairs. It's going to create like a whole nicer and more elegant atmosphere for your chuppah. It'll enhance it. But like they use these white folding chairs and will literally spend 15, 20, 30, $35,000 on a chuppah. Like I still can't understand it, but it's like not even a negotiation. Like for
Maybe
me,
it's
it's
like a
like
conspiracy thing, but like every sukkah I went to had those white folding chairs. So maybe there's like a from, somebody
maybe
behind it that's.
no, but even not the from wedding planners, like even in like the non-Jewish world or even in the world of like modern, like it's just weird to me. I don't understand like how they don't think it's weird because like they'll put on beautiful events and then I'm like, how did you miss that detail?
I want to just like say something because I know this wedding was the wedding, but honestly, my favorite wedding ever was the October 7th wedding that you made 2 years ago in Israel. I think you just shared that it's
Oh,
two
the
years
November
since you did
2nd.
it. I sometimes go back just to watch it because the music and just the whole thing, like it is the most beautiful wedding. It shows you don't need a lot, but like it's everything.
Yeah, no, and it was like for me, I'm like, wow, in a way, it was like so crazy that like these two weddings ended up like I feel like Hashem, I kind of like let it like full circle, and they were also like both purple. And it was like for me, it was like Hashem, I kind of like in such a beautiful way paid me back by giving me this wedding, like by doing like that wedding like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, wow, I really felt like it was like this beautiful like full circle that came together.
I watch it secretly, so about 50,000 of those views are mine. Sorry to burst your bubble.
And by the way, one of my followers, messenger, whatever people on Instagram today messaged me that they know the couple and they're having a baby.
Wow.
Oh, that's so nice. So I'm so happy for them.
Wow.
Not the
But
couple
no,
that
but
just had the wedding. Okay.
right, but Esty, but you explained to me about chairs is when you come into a room, you spend so much on what's on the table, but your eye level, like what your eye meets, is the chairs. That's like kind of the first thing that you
It's
see. So you
kind of
always
like
tell
the
me
surrounding.
you always have the chairs and
Yeah.
tablecloths that cover the right. Are those your two pet peeves?
Hmm.
So
Amongst
guys,
others. But yeah, those are
listen
the two.
up. Text her pictures when you have this figured out. Chairs and make sure your tablecloth cover those little two legs of the table. If she comes to
No, and I'll
a
literally like sometimes no, sometimes clients will call me and like, hi, so we really want to use you and we don't have like such a big budget. I'm like, don't hire me. but I will give you free advice. Rent nice chairs and rent nice linen, and your event is already going to look so leveled up. Because I'm like, if you're going to hire me and not give me the budget to do that, then we miss the whole point of like, and to a certain aspect, you miss the whole point of like hiring me if you're not going to give me the budget to do things that I need to do to produce a beautiful event. So if you're limited on a budget, then scale back on the party planner who's gonna like make you do those things. And I'm giving you just free advice, and put that money towards getting those items, and then you're already gonna have a lifted experience. But some people like they wanna hire.
You're good with us calling you for free advice. Is that what you're pretty much saying?
To a certain extent.
Is there a limit?
There is you know what? This month I was taking all the chesed. I needed all the chesed from Hashem possible. So like any chesed hours that came, I'm like, sure, bring it on. Sure.
You threw Mimi's bas mitzvah on your chesed list.
That's
You know what?
okay. I'll
Mishki
take
gets
it.
protected.
I don't know how.
Mishki
By the
I
way,
wish I had a simcha.
I held back from calling you like the week of the wedding. I was like, just for fun, I want to be like, Estee, what color balloon should I like? I was just gonna call you for
For
fun.
Manucha's birthday.
It was
For
Manuka's princess
party.
party,
so much.
and
Thank you.
I did not call you for advice. And my father-in-law sees it. I did the balloons myself. Gosh.
Weirdly enough, the week of the wedding is the calmest because everything needs to be done right before that. It's the week before the week of it's like 2 weeks before that's the most stressful, because the week before it's like that's it, it's done. The rent, like as the rental companies are already like the trucks are already like you can't do anything anymore.
But is it like a Chabad house where then you have to clean up after, and that's the worst part? Because that's a lot of stuff to clean up.
This venue was a little bit, because it's not a hotel, and in a hotel you get so much service. You get captains, you get wait staff, you get janitors.
There's
you
a
get
whole
so
hospitality team.
Exactly. And that what was like lacking in a place like this. But we were like, we had to bring in our own hospitality team. So that was like a little like complicated. But it's fine. Like we figured it out, and like, we had them come the next day and like pack up and things like that. But
Did you invite all of the Persian relatives and friends to take home some flowers? Like there's enough flowers for every relative and cousin.
literally, like if this was a Persian wedding, the florist didn't have to come even do a pickup tomorrow. But because it was an Ashkenaz wedding, and like
We are
maybe they'll
making that
leave with like
into a reel.
maybe they have to like maybe they'll leave with a leaf. If you're lucky, the florist had to come back.
They had to come clean up.
They
And
had
what
to
if
come
it's
clean up.
small?
No, it's like I wonder if by like Persian weddings they like remove the strike fee because they don't need to bring 15 guys, because the Persians
That huge purple flower. Do you think anyone will notice if I bring it into my car?
I
It's
could
the
so
door
see someone with
prize.
a convertible, or like the window on the top of the car, like with the big purple flowers sticking out as they sneak it home.
Guys, I once went to a Persian wedding where they screwed the centerpieces into the table because they didn't want to
They
get.
wanted them to stay to the end of the wedding.
No, exactly. They literally screwed the centerpieces to the center of the table because they knew their clientele. Okay. And another
What?
Persian wedding that I went to, she made me call a Uber XL just for the flowers. She's like, that's not all gonna fit in my car. I need to take all of this home. I'm like, oh my freaking God. And the Uber XL came just for the floral.
Okay, and Manucha, now
Mishki-
that you got your answer why it was purple, and like you're able to breathe, any other questions you have for Essie before we go on to the, signature Fast Five?
My question would be, what is something that you wish you knew before you started doing all this? Like, what is, if someone was going into this or starting their own business, like, what advice would you give them?
She has her MBA, so she has to ask those type of
It's
questions.
true.
I think the advice I would give is to surround yourself with people who know more than you and people who are willing to like teach you. because that's really how you're going to learn. And not to be afraid to ask. I feel like I would like the vendor, I would just be like, guys, I'm not telling you, I'm just asking you, like, is this and this possible? Is it? And like sometimes they're like, Estee, you're out of your mind. And sometimes like, oh, actually, yeah, it is possible. So I really realize it doesn't hurt to ask. It could be that the answer will be no, but there is also a chance that you might think of a solution or something different together by asking that question. So I feel like ask questions, don't be afraid. Like, it doesn't make you look weak if you're asking certain things. And like, listen to people who have been in this business and are offering you support and offering you advice. Like, listen to what they have to say. And also just be open to, I mean, you have to just be open to like making your own mistakes, but like learning from them. And like, don't let your ego like get in the way, because at the end of the day, it is a service-based industry and you are there to make your clients feel a certain way and to make them feel like special and at ease. And if you're going to start going like butting heads with them about like, but you said this and you said that, it's like, no, you have to learn to be just very resourceful and respectful and have good bedside manner, because you're really like offering like a service that you want them to have a pleasant experience with.
How much time off? How much time off do you get now before your next event?
Hmm. So I actually have a bas mitzvah next Sunday.
I
So I
feel
get to
like
like,
the trip is like due now.
I know, but I'm like, it's so funny because I'm like, okay, where do I want to go? Like, what's next on my bucket list? I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Singapore. But I'm like, those places are just like, that takes so much time to plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go away. I just want to have like a little refresher, like a little reboost. So I'll just like go away for a night this week, like just to get away. And then I'll be back.
Well, Esty, we are so grateful you came on. If we want to be honest, we actually 2 weeks ago, while Esty was planning this wedding, we actually recorded an episode. But I think Hashem wanted us to have you post wedding. So not just our friend Esty, but superstar event planner, deluxe event planner Esty. So I think Hashem just knew to,
Why do you keep on inserting the word deluxe?
I don't know,
This
just
is like a
coming
breakfast
out.
like package, like deluxe breakfast, like deluxe. You're like,
I don't,
like when you're like ordering like a bris package and it's like basic deluxe bris package. Yeah,
yeah, I think now you
continue.
are a deluxe party planner. People are like, oh, she's a party planner. What's her number? No, do not ask for her number. It's not for you. It's for exactly. So maybe that's where it came
Okay.
from. But we're so honored and
But she's
grateful
saying
that
the
you
word
came.
deluxe is not going to help. You need to go like for the stars. Like you need to up it a little bit,
It's
Superstar.
fine.
Estee.
It's fine. It's okay. Yeah.
We'll throw in a fancier word when we edit. Oh, I'm editing it, so we're not. Um, but hope everyone came out entertained and also got little tips for themselves, whether they want to grow maybe into a party planner or just I feel like nowadays we all just in our own homes, we just want everything to look elevated. So thanks for all those little tips. And I remember SDU when you were younger, just I remember watching you just how you pulled things from your house in a box to lift things underneath. I think one of your greatest attributes is that you're so resourceful. And we saw that literally from when you were younger and now on this huge scale. So, Esty, thank you so much for joining, giving us your entertainment and your tips. We're so honored to have you. And now we have a really fun fast five to finish off for you, and we're going to put you on the spot. So, from these five sisters here, which sister would be your nightmare client?
Oh my gosh.
Which would be my night?
It's so good. You
The
have to
I'm
answer.
debating between you and Nini.
Oh my gosh. Me, the truth
I,
is coming out.
well,
Next, next,
I,
next, next.
It's a fast five.
okay. Which sister would come an hour late to her own party?
Hesha.
Totally Hesha.
Okay. Which sister would give you the biggest budget to work with?
Adla, next.
Which
And never call you. And never call you.
She's like
which
the doctor.
which sister would throw the best after party?
Either you or Adla. Actually, maybe Nini or Mushki, actually.
Ooh.
Adla probably has something to go to. Like she's like schedule what after party? No.
So true. Who has
Who?
time to just hang out?
Which sister would call you the most to squeeze out the most free party planning advice?
Would or does?
You're looking at her and she's talking to me.
I think all those birthday anniversary parties you set up in Mushki's garden really got you to where you were today. So I think Mushki should get about 10% commission.
Oh my
I
god!
was thinking you were gonna say like she should get like 10% off her next party. No, 10% commission.
No, she really gave you the confidence to go big.
I trusted you with Devin's birthday date out in my yard.
I swear, I can't even believe who hung those lights on the trees.
You,
And
exactly.
And I climbed up a ladder to cover the camera so he shouldn't see me doing it. You know,
You
you
know,
know.
Good times.
Okay, well, this was a fun Fast Five. I didn't know I'd be the star of them, but whatever. It is what it is. Um, it's a good thing we have a very secure friendship. Bessie, thank you for coming on, sisters. That was so much fun. You should always be planning. We should all be planning just simchas, weddings,
Amen.
and good things. So,
Amen.
and see you guys next week on that. Oh,
Let Esty
Esty,
do
you
it.
go for it.
What?
Do it
You
again.
obviously don't listen to them because you don't know our signature goodbye.
No, because last time she got up before, so do it again. Esty.